Welcome to Arlington Public News. I'm Paul Werling.
And I'm Brenda Mahoney. Thanks for joining us. In this edition of APN, Arlington Select Board appoints a familiar face to fill the vacancy left by the sudden death of longtime Select Board member Kevin Greeley. We'll have the details.
Police Chief Fred Ryan surprised many Arlingtonians when he announced his plans to retire from the force next month. APN has an exclusive on-cam interview with Ryan about his accomplishments and his plans for the future.
We told you about this guy breaking into a home in Arlington last month. Police say break-ins like this are on the rise in Arlington. What are police doing to catch suspects taking advantage of the holiday season? We'll have reaction.
Arlington Select Board took on the task of appointing a replacement for the late Kevin Greeley.
Clarissa Rowe, a former Select Board member who filled in last year, will do the job once again. Chair Tan Dunn admits he made a unilateral decision to ask Rowe to take on the task, citing state open meeting laws preventing him from discussing the matter until this week's Select Board meeting.
I called up Clarissa and I said, hey, you were really good last time. All the same criteria. Would you do it again? And she said yes.
All 4 Select Board members, plus town moderator John Leone, approved the appointment. Rowe must leave her position with the Community Preservation Committee, as she did last year, when she replaced Select Board member Steve Byrne, who stepped down before his term expired. Rowe agreed to serve until the town election April 6, when a new member will be elected to a 3-year term.
To many Arlington residents, the announcement that Police Chief Fred Ryan is retiring, effective January, came as a bombshell. Town leaders say he'll be leaving a very different police force than he found 20 years ago. Under Ryan's leadership, the Arlington Police Department has become a national model of modern, community-focused agency. In his first APN interview since the announcement, Jeff Barn talked to Chief Ryan about his tenure, his accomplishments, and the future.
With 2 children in high school and looking at college dead ahead, I'm in the job market, shall we say.
And that's all Chief Fred Ryan is willing to say about his future plans after more than 3 decades serving his hometown of Arlington and 20 as its police chief.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting and challenging transition. I mean, my whole adult life, my identity has been as a police officer, and so transitioning away from that at home and in you know, social settings will be a challenge for me. I've been passionate about my work. I've been given the great privilege of you know, serving as chief of police in my hometown and having gone from the public housing projects with very little means and being given this honor.
Town leaders say Chief Ryan's announcement last week is a huge loss for Arlington, in large part because of Ryan's philosophy of community policing, addressing the state's opioid crisis and mental health issues, and helping to stop what Chief Ryan calls the revolving door of taxpayer-funded recidivism.
We've really had a shift in paradigm, and we've become an agency driven by community values and truly engaging in partnerships with stakeholders in the community to police the community the way it chooses to be policed. And that's what I'm most proud of, is that we've been able to make that shift and recruit the men and women that are capable of advancing that mission.
Ryan says transparency is another accomplishment under his guidance, gaining the trust of residents police are paid to protect.
You know, we've never been perfect. I've never been perfect, but we've been honest, and I think we've moved the dial, and I only hope that I've left my little corner of the world a little bit better than I found it.
Before leaving just days into the new year, Ryan says Arlingtonians enabled him to try new approaches to law enforcement, and that's something he says he will appreciate no matter what path he takes next.
I say thank you. Thank you for giving me the privilege of serving as your chief of police. Thank you for allowing me to take risk from time to time with some of our programming. And thank you for empowering us and holding us accountable. I think that's most important. You know, I speak to chiefs around Massachusetts and around the country, and you know, we're only as good as the trust that the people place in us. And with that trust comes accountability. And Arlington has been very effective at holding its police department accountable for policing the community the way it decides to be policed. And I say continue to hold the department accountable because everybody's better for it.
Chief Ryan says after 20 years as head of Arlington's police force, he's learned that being police chief is more of a lifestyle than a job. It's a 24/7, 365-day-a-year responsibility. And he says he's done his job to the best of his ability, and now it's time to turn the keys over to someone else. I'm Jeff Barnes, Arlington Public News.
Chief Ryan told us he's currently exploring opportunities in the private sector. In the coming weeks, town leaders will be announcing an interim strategy for leading the department, along with a plan to recruit a permanent successor. There's been a disturbing trend of burglaries in Arlington in the past 3 months. According to Arlington Police, 17 homes have been ransacked since September. That includes a house on Moulton Road hit just last week. And if a Moulton Road heist sounds familiar, it should. This home video captures a suspect ransacking an unoccupied Moulton Road home about 2 months ago. Police released this home video early last month in the hopes that someone could identify him, but he's still on the loose. Law officials say the recent break-ins are similar to this, where jewelry, cash, and electronics are stolen. Chief Fred Ryan believes one burglar is responsible for many, if not all, of the recent Arlington break-ins.
It's hit a neighborhood where I have family that lives, so it's hit home, if you will. We're working the case hard. We do have some grainy video footage of the suspect. We're working with neighboring jurisdictions, particularly Watertown and Belmont, who have been hit by somebody that we believe is the same perpetrator. And we're working the case hard. We think that our best opportunity to develop leads will be where some of the property is sold. So we're working a number of investigative strategies and really around the clock on those cases. We hope to bring that to a quick resolution.
Police believe that the suspect or suspects are taking advantage of the early darkness of daylight savings time to target homes that appear unoccupied. Police urge residents to report any suspicious activity.
There could be more multifamily housing units in town if certain zoning laws are changed. Town planners are looking to up the amount of units in high-density areas by loosening restrictions such as lot size and parking spots. The effort is part of the town's plan to make 10% of housing affordable and promote mixed use in business corridors, which town meeting approved a few years ago. Any building over 3 stories may require a setback of the upper floors. Board members and commenters at the December 17th meeting of the Arlington Redevelopment Board debated the zoning proposals and the overriding theme of whether or not the changes fit the town.
It's kept us from being able to provide alternative types of housing, more condominiums, more small apartments, things that would allow younger couples to move in, younger families to move in, things that would allow seniors to stay in town.
Well, we don't want to look like the area around Kendall Station. It's a nice thoroughfare, but it's a city. We are a town. We want to stay a town.
We have to think about what these multifamily apartments might mean for our planning. It doesn't mean we can never have them, but right now the schools are full and they keep adding on classrooms.
And if you want housing to be more affordable, just build more housing. And if, a few years from now, not Arlington looks like Somerville, but it looks like Kendall, I would say that we're doing a good thing for the greater community. Because while we would like to preserve this character of our small town, people got to live somewhere.
You'll have a chance to hear more about the multifamily housing production plan and proposed zoning changes at a town hall forum on Thursday, January 10th, beginning at 7 at night.
Arlington's Recreation Director John Marshall is heading to Belmont to become Assistant Town Administrator there. According to Belmont town leaders, Marshall will begin January 22nd, and his chief responsibility will be managing Belmont's Recreation Department, which has been without a director for 7 years. Marshall had been Arlington's Recreation Director since the fall of 2016. While he's disappointed to see Marshall leave, Arlington's town manager Adam Chapdelaine wishes Marshall well in his new position. Meantime, Arlington town leaders say a plan to recruit a successor in the coming weeks is now in the works.
So a lot of changes coming to Arlington, and one of them, the biggest, being Police Chief Ryan, moving on after 20 years.
Yes, and he served us well for over 20 years in this town. Everybody, I think, joins us in thanking him for his service. And if you need a break before entertaining loved ones over the holidays, Jamie Joseph has your holiday ticket to some fun Arlington events.
And an area medical cannabis store is ordered by the state to pull some products from its shelves. We'll tell you why.
And the Spy Ponders are still busy over the holidays. We'll have your sports update. That and more when we come back.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Bro? Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
A medical marijuana facility, which opened less than 2 months ago in Arlington, is ordered by the state to halt the sale of certain products at its shop. At issue here is cannabidiol, or CBD, a non-intoxicating substance used to treat a wide range of medical issues. The Massachusetts Department of Public Health has reportedly ordered Apotheka to stop selling CBD supplements, saying the facility reportedly received the products from outside state-regulated suppliers. Meanwhile, Apotheka tells APN the products in question were legally tested in Massachusetts still. If any of their customers wish to return the product, they can bring it back for a full refund. No word on how long CBD-infused products will be off store shelves.
Well, New England's only live late-night TV program, The Steve Katz Show, is celebrating the holidays by kicking off season number 10. And its new season premiere airs this week on ACMi. The Steve Katz Show is an enjoyable one-hour program before a live studio audience here at 85 Park Ave, and it provides a venue for creative people in and around the Boston area to share their art, comedy, and music. This production is filmed at our Studio A with a crew of around 40 people, and this year's lineup of programs comes with all the elements of an innovative and enjoyable 1 hour of television. Katz says if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, it's the same show, man. We highlight creative people, and I've got that fantastic house band with me every week. And, you know, we do it live, and it's an intense hour on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock.
If you're interested in being part of the Steve Katz Show, join as a volunteer or just sit back and enjoy the program as a member of the live studio audience. It's a great chance to see all the exciting prep work and fun detail that goes into a live performance, or you can watch the Steve Katz Show from the comfort of your home on our public channel. Check out acmi.tv for listings. Okay, so the tree is up, hopefully. The presents are bought and wrapped. Not in my house. I don't know about yours.
No, not yet. I'm way behind this year, so I got a ways to go. But let's face it, it's time to relax and enjoy the holidays. Everybody knows some arts and entertainment help to make the season bright. Here's arts and entertainment reporter Jamie Joseph with glad tidings of Arlington's numerous holiday events.
Home for the holiday? Looking to get into some last-minute Christmas cheer? We've got you covered. Here's a list of fun holiday events both you and your family can enjoy from now through Christmas Day. Love Live Theater? Head to the region and prepare yourselves for an outrageously funny, all-singing, all-dancing, all-cooking extravaganza as the Calamari Sisters take the stage for a little Christmas with the Calamari Sisters, running now through Sunday, December 23rd. Join the brassy, sassy Delphine and Carmela sisters as they perform holiday favorites like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Home for the Holidays, Put a Little Love in Your Heart, while designing their latest culinary offerings. Please note, this show is 17+, so be sure to get a babysitter. Do you and your kids like to make holiday gifts but didn't get the chance? Well, head on over to Artbeat for their holiday gift-making extravaganza this Saturday, December 22nd, and Sunday, December 23rd. They have ornaments to paint or decoupage, tiny tiles to make beautiful mosaics, and holiday sand art designs for young artists. You'll leave with handmade treasures guaranteed to delight, and they will also provide beautiful wrapping paper as well. Projects start at just $15. In closing, we know that sing-alongs are a favorite Christmas tradition for some families. Every holiday season, countless people from all over the world gather around television screens to watch their favorite Christmas movies. The Regent Theater is continuing this tradition by featuring sing-alongs, Disney's Frozen, and the 1954 Bing Crosby classic, White Christmas, opening Christmas night. With Disney's Frozen sing-along, kids can follow the on-screen lyrics as well as march along in the on-stage costume parade wearing their favorite Frozen character. How cute is that? You can learn more about the Regent schedule and get tickets as well as learn more about Artbeat's workshops by visiting their websites www.regenttheater.com and www.artbeatonline.com. I'm Jamie from Arlington Public News, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, it sounds like nobody has to even leave Arlington to celebrate the holidays. There's lots going on.
That's right, that's right. So many different shows there to take advantage of, so please do.
There's much more ahead on Arlington Public News as we continue.
No rest for the Spy Ponders over the holidays. We have your sports action on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
How long have we been married, dear?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years that we have been married. We had been looking at a lot of different houses in different places around that area, and when we came by this house, it was green, and I love green. I'm Irish. And so I said, oh, there's our house. I know it. We decided on Meals on Wheels because at my age, I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
We are now in the thick of week 2 of the Spy Ponders winter season.
Let's go to Alex Van Thong in Studio B for all the action.
Hello, Arlington sports lovers. The boys basketball team had their home opener this week after taking a loss on the road against Woburn. The Spy Ponders took the win at home against Watertown.
So Matt, as you mentioned a couple times during the contest, Arlington really made their move in the third quarter when Papadopoulos went out of the game. They had the third quarter 26-9, and that was really the key to the game.
Huge run there for them in that third quarter with Papadopoulos out. He was out for, 6 minutes during that third quarter, like you said, with his 4th foul. And they really put the pedal to the metal there. They put their foot on their throat, whatever cliche analogy you want to use. Arlington really pulled away, and they were able to close it out in the 4th quarter with some solid defense. And Watertown was just in too much of a hole. Even after Papadopoulos came back in with a minute to go in that third quarter, they weren't able to close the gap at all.
The girls on the court also took a loss against Woburn, but came back from the weekend with a win against Watertown. Both teams will take the court at home for a doubleheader on Friday, December 21st, with the girls at 5:30 p.m. and the boys at 7 p.m. Taking a look at the ice, the boys hockey team met an equal match in Melrose and finished with a 1-1 tie. Unfortunately, they took the loss against Boston College High School, while the girls came away with a shutout 6-0 win at home against Watertown. This Saturday, you can catch your Spy Ponders for a doubleheader with the boys on the ice at 2 p.m. and the girls on the ice at 6 p.m. That's all we have for sports this week. We'll be off for the holidays next week, but be sure to find more coverage of your Arlington athletes here on ACMi Sports in the new year.
And of course, we'll keep you updated on all the action from Arlington High in our newscast and on our website.
You can check out our latest segments and newscasts on the web at acmi.tv/news. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Arlington Public.
And if you have any news tips for us here at Arlington Public News, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at news@acmi.tv or stop by our studio here at 85 Park Avenue. I'm Paul Werlin.
And I'm Brenda Mahoney. We leave you tonight with some festive holiday lights throughout Arlington. Thanks for joining us. On behalf of everyone here at ACMi, Have a marvelous holiday season and a happy and safe 2019. Good night.
Merry Christmas, everybody.